I have in me three worlds. One is my Arabic world, the other my American, and finally, my Canadian. They are like different symphonies playing at the same time, fiercely and loudly, so loud I cannot hear the music anymore. My friend tells me to imitate the wind and penetrate the world gently. I am gentle, but I go in many directions like cross currents. Finally, I take my three worlds and make of them a fourth, مكان المباركين. This is the place where I go.
هيدا هو المكان يلي هي بترحله حتى تلاقي سلام.
I have used every thought I own to explain the position in which I find myself. But this is an old activity of mine, the one where I look to fit myself into a place where I stand out as separate and perhaps odd. There is the language of children who chide and taunt the ones who are unlike them in looks. At that time, when I was a child, they called me names I could not understand. They saw my curly dark hair, my wide, frightened eyes, and my dark skin. They were unkind, in the way children are known to be, without forgiveness, without thought. I remember running home and asking my parents, who were even darker and more curly-haired than me, what do these words mean? Who am I? What am I?
يصبح الشوم انت مش عبدة. لا قوليلهن انت مش عبدة. ما يهمك إذا ضحكوا، هني هبل. انت عربية، نحن شعب جميل، خليهن يضحكوا. انت كوني قوية، بس ما تقعدي برا بالشمس لأنك بتسودي. يا ربي يا ربي.
I became aware of the color of my skin, and I was confused by my family. Why were they so angry? What had I done? Why couldn't I play out in the sun? What does it mean to be too dark? All the words confused me, and I was no longer comfortable inside myself. Somewhere during this time, I learned to avert my eyes. I am in a quiet place with the blessed. Here they know me and they give me love. I can run and play, and they laugh with me and show me all their treasures. I play games with them and we tell each other stories over and over again. We have so much fun, I never want to leave. I am tall and blonde. My hair is straight. My eyes are blue. I have freckles. My skin is very white, so I can't stay in the sun or I will burn. I live in a big house and have lots of brothers and sisters. We have a happy family, and I sit in the center and smile all the time.
شكلي المختلف بيجرح الشعور. لازم تهرب بتفكيرها وتعمل حالها شخص تاني. هي بتغير لون جلدها وشعرها وعينيها لأنها بدها تبين مثلهن. هي مش موجودة بقى، صارت شخص تاني.
My family spoke three languages, Arabic, French, and English. They could change language quickly, so I could not understand everything they said. They didn't really understand their new country. They were as lost as I, but they pretended they knew everything. They watched me grow and could not understand why I wanted to straighten my hair and lighten my skin. Soon I had many secrets, and they still don't know them. America, there is no room for us here. We try to pretend we are not Arab for a while, so no one will know. But my religion tells me not to lie. And besides, I don't even know if I can be anybody here. So if I am no one, I don't have to worry about details. I dream.
هي عم تحلم.
I am in a lovely place with the blessed. We are all beautiful all of the time.
منغني مع
We sing
بعض
together and take long
ومنتمشى
walks.
تمشيات
We eat
طويلة
hamburgers and drink Coke
وناكل لحم
and play
وبنشرب
music
كولا
all day.
وبنسمع موسيقى
We
طول اليوم
dance and fall in love.
نرقص
I
وبنوقع
never
بالحب
want to
أنا
leave.
ما بدي أترك أبدا. هي كبرت وصارت صبية ولكنها ما فهمت حالها أبدا. كانت تبكي لما ما تقدر تعمل أصحاب بسهولة. حست بحالها إنها منبوذة من الحياة وعرفت إنه كل الناس بيعتبروا عائلتها غريبة. عرفت الخجل كتير منيح ولبسته يوميا.
There is nowhere to go in the transition but into a private space. I am on my own. I am grown. I am Canadian.
Ils ont quitté leur premier pays à la recherche d'un espace. Maintenant, elle part de nouveau d'elle-même. Elle est très seule, et tout cela est nouveau pour elle, et pourtant très semblable de certaines façons. Elle est pensive.
ليش تركتينا؟ لوين رايحة؟ تعي على البيت، دخيلك تعي على البيت.
There is a coldness here. It's more than just weather, more than those profound winters where the air is so still. No, it's just so cold that I sometimes wonder if the numbness is coming from outside in or inside out. Hard to breathe. The long Canadian stares that picture you as an outsider, even when you've seen more of their country from coast to coast than they have in a lifetime.
You are a stranger here.
انت
What
غريبة
did you
هون.
think?
شو
Tu es une
افتكرتي؟
étrangère ici.
رح تتذكري
Qu'est-ce que tu
كيف كانت
pensais?
طفولتك؟
Tu te souviendras
رح
de ce que
تحسي
c'était
انك
qu'être
ضعيفة
enfant.
كمان مرة.
Tu te sentiras
وتسألي
démunie
حالك
de
مين
nouveau
انت؟
et te demanderas
انت
qui tu
غريبة
es.
عنهم.
Tu es étrange à leurs yeux.
Hard to figure. These people make life stiffer than I am used to, make it tougher and more rugged, like their landscape in the West. I am still not sure if I have become at all like them, just by proximity for all these years. I am changed. There is a challenge in finding myself here. I have to look very hard at my thoughts and measure them against that cold. I am still warm and breathing.
Il te trouve très exotique. Il éroticise ton image. Il est obsédé par ta différence.
There was the day that I walked into it. I didn't know it would be that way, that I would become a victim to his mental distress. I felt like I had lost my innocence after that encounter. He touched me ugly. I wanted to run and leave that place for good. I thought they would be more refined here, but I guess emotional disorders are international. And again I play that sad role, as the one from somewhere else to whom he can do those things. I am here without roots, easy to push, easy to harm.
لما بيأذوكي كتير، مش رح تنسي أبداً. انت عربية، انت جميلة، هني هبل. كوني قوية، كوني فخورة.
I walked away and tried to forget,
مشيت وجربت
but I
أنسى
never forgot.
بس ما قدرت
It
أنسى.
ate at me for
مرقت
years,
سنين
until one
وفي
day
يوم
I had to
طلعت
spit it
على
up and look
حالي.
at it hard.
كانت حياتي
My life
مجروحة.
was hurting.
ما حدا
No one
قوي
is that tough,
لهالدرجة.
and the weather
والطقس
was
كان
cloudy.
مغيم.
I missed the
اشتقت
roses,
للورد
the azaleas.
والأزاليا.
I
ضيعت
lost
حالي
myself in a
بالحزن.
grief that was as
وكان
wide and
الحزن
deep
واسع
as the
وغميق مثل
homelessness
المتشرد
in
بقلبي.
my heart. One day, I figured it was enough, just plain enough. I told him I was finished with being scared all the time. There is a point where they can't hurt you anymore, because you just can't care that much anymore. I don't think they know that. They are wrapped up in their perspective of things. They have missed much of the world and forgot that what they looked at as life was just television. I am in a warm place with the blessed.
أنا بمكان
They
دافي
are
مع
comforting me with
المباركين.
lovely things.
هني بيعزوني
I
بأشياء
surround myself with
ممتعة.
sun and
في
water,
شمس
and at
وفي مي
night I
حوالي.
run and chase the moon.
وبالليل بركض وبطارد
I am
القمر.
always content
دايما أنا
because everyone is
مبسوطة
so
لأن
kind.
كلهم لطفة.
They are
هني
glad to see
مبسوطين
me, and I never
يشوفوني
want to
وأنا ما
leave.
بدي أترك أبدا.
I walk when I am disturbed, This is an old habit born of the claustrophobic days of my childhood. No street too long, no night too dark, no place too far. My mother would pull out her hair and worry herself sick that I would be attacked. But the street was safer than my home. Yet I long for home and wonder what it is I am craving. Certainly not the home I walked away from so many years ago. Maybe I am still looking for somewhere to be. A place where the colors change in ways that bring joy and calm. I saw a sunset once that filled me with pleasure. There were colors that were so tender and quiet, I could have stood there forever. I felt a sense of peace so deep that maybe I stayed there in some way. Because I am not always here. I mean, I live here and I drive here and all those things, but sometimes my head leads me to other locations. I wander. Perhaps my mind is so homesick that it just can no longer stay in one place.
C'est ici chez toi. C'est ici que tu habites maintenant. Accepte-le.
Some days, I just know there is something wrong. I just cannot take another step into the direction of that cold, that gaze. I have tried humor, but it is often rebuffed. Not right, not polite, not how we do it. So I move away and wrap myself in soft dreams of places where I might go. I look at maps and drive myself away in many directions. I've made myself come back and face their stony gazes, but I think it may be a waste of time. They are not full of knowledge. They are stiffened by their rugged terrain. I am working to stay warm in the face of no response worth mentioning. Cold place, cold climate, cold stairs.
Il fait froid. Je me cherche un endroit au chaud.
I've spent a lifetime looking for quiet joys, trying real hard not to disturb anyone else. So when I came here, I must have recognized signs. I knew not to say much. I knew to keep things calm. But I had a little trouble because every now and then the words kept coming out of me, even though I tried to blend into this new place. Somehow, I couldn't. Can't. No longer even care to. Why should I? They stopped trying after one look. My darkness. Their fear.
Mon teint foncé, leur crainte.
I have stood there, looking, listening, feeling miles away, a voyeur in an unreal drama. There is no place for me here. I slowly crawl out of the invisible shell and begin constructing a location for me. I cannot play the vivacious one. I must be satisfied with the state of my own being, and somehow I will attract those who have the vision. Perhaps that makes me demanding. I don't try to do that. It just comes with the territory of my soul. I hear terrible tremors in the halls, and I try to quietly melt into my room. It is frightening to watch the constant thrashing of those around me. They know I will not be one of them, and therefore life becomes a trial for now. I cannot really believe them anymore. It becomes like childhood games, me and them, me and them. Always a silent, alone me. I am breaking out of that. I have to make some space for myself, my thoughts. I am not noisy in the same fashion, so I cannot win through energy. And there was the day a woman confronted me. It was as if she had waited for this moment. She lit on me like a panther. I was so startled. It's not like them. They don't do these things here. I was caught, unaware, unprepared. I felt myself turn inward, and all I could see were those two pointed eyes pivoting in my direction. There was a mouth too, but at times I lost the meaning, even the sounds of her words. So harsh, so filled with an indignation I've only read about or seen on the news. And I, for some reason, had become the target of those tangled emotions, like a president or a leader whose followers have discovered the corruption. But I was innocent as one can be who lives and breathes this tight air. I almost suffocated that day, except I moved so far from her and so quickly that she never even knew I was gone.
انت ما بتقدر تلاقيها إلا إذا هي بدها تخليك.
I think I've lost the knack for familiarity. It is all strange, and I am not sure that when I turn the next corner, I'll know the landscape, or the doorway, or the corridor, or my chair. It's alarming how absent I can be inside my own skin when I have been harmed. I move real quietly away, like a thief, like a snake, like an incompatible substance that won't adhere. Sometimes I stay frozen for days, but when it's past, I try and remember what happened that made me so silently escape. I try to remember places I knew and loved, and sometimes, slowly, they return to me like a fresh, clean breeze. And then the tears, the useless and helpless thought that I am not there, but here, and maybe there doesn't exist any longer, except in some little corner in my mind. I am certain there was a time when I could be sure, when I felt that the morning was the start of a day that was totally mine, when the night brought me an extension of my power over the day, when it was all exciting, new, and filled with desire. I remember a moment when I was a child. I was sitting in a classroom at one of those old wooden desks. It was spring and there was sun filtering into the room because they allowed big windows in the schools then. The teacher was talking, the class was listening, and I turned my head to the right and downward and fixed my eyes on patches of sunlight on the tiles of our schoolroom floor. I couldn't move my eyes away. It was as if I was committing this to memory, as evidence of a moment when I took a liberty. I thought about the sunlight on the floor, and I have never forgotten it. I still see it today, and remember how quietly wonderful that moment was. When it gets real bad, I go back and look for these treasures. Am I always a pause for them? Something against which they can compare their righteousness? You know, I think they hate my country. I'm not at all sure that I like it all of the time. But I have a right to my turmoil. It's my soil, my people, my problems and my triumphs. They are the interlopers in my thoughts. They glean their knowledge secondhand. They read papers and watch television and have become experts on what I myself still struggle to understand. Sometimes I go slowly, and they think I am impersonal. What a judgment! As if they deserve the kind of things I reserve for those I truly like. I can be calm and helpful, but not jovial and happy now. Their descriptions of me fall like prickly pins into tender flesh, so childish, like then, when I was always outside of it all. Maybe I am destined to remain in a shell, alone, and without the joys of companionship. But no, that is their description of me. I have to make my own person so strong and ready that I don't forget who I am. It's easy to forget when you are working against the fury of an army. I leave sometimes, but feel like I'm still there. I may be getting accustomed to my sorrow. Trying to be good and honest gets me nowhere. This is not what they want to hear. They need to hear about themselves constantly. I am tired of the noise. So then the tears fall. Again, I feel something for a while. Not just the going through the motions, but rather the movement inside myself. I scream without a sound, and now I know I am howling. But of course, no one can hear. I am always careful to use discretion in my anguish. I don't want their patronizing sympathy. That is all they have to give, to make themselves feel better. I won't be used for that. Trust? What? There isn't much. I just know that it continues and breaks my back daily. That torture of listening to my exclusion. And then the chill of their glances. The complete realization that they regard me as a foreign entity, an eyesore perhaps. If only she doesn't come today, we'll all have a better time. She is the problem. She has problems. I hear it all in whispers through the corridors. The problem is, I think I am invisible. I must be trying to do that in order to survive. But they do see me. And because I think I'm not there, I don't acknowledge them properly. The way they would like it done. The way some of them do it. Their way, not mine. Given the opportunity, I might revive for them. For myself, I stay put for a while, safely alone. Quietly watching for a space where I can enter without a struggle. I am in the land of the blessed. I lay down quietly and look to either side. I smell a lovely garden. I see the stars shining. I feel the sea. I close my eyes. I am not alone. I am with the blessed.